YouTube family, welcome to my channel, Vanessa J. My name is Vanessa, and I just wanted to come to you all today and first of all say hello, happy Saturday. But I wanted to talk about, of course, I know you can see in the title, things that I wish I knew before going bald. Y'all, I really thought that going bald was going to be just an easy task. And for some people, I'm just speaking of my experience for myself. Some people it may have been or may be pretty easy. But the first time around, so this is my second time going bald. So I'll give like just a little bit of backstory because I don't want this video to be too long. But I had a short pixie cut. And I mean, I've had hair, cut it off, had hair, cut it off. So I'm not attached to my hair like that. So I had a pixie cut, but since I moved to the area where I am now, I did not know anyone to cut my hair. I didn't have a barber or anything. I was going to a salon to get my hair done for a little bit, but then, life happens. I stopped doing that. So I was just kind of doing my hair myself, and I would, was trying to find someone. I thought I did find someone at Great Clips, but I went back and he was gone. So then I had another issue with another place that I went to have my hair cut. And I think the doctor said it probably was the dirty clippers that gave me folliculitis. So that started like a whole thing with that. And I didn't know what it was. My hair was itching so bad. And my scalp was. And so I put alcohol, witch hazel, tea tree oil on there, everything. So it would go away, then it would come back. And so over a period of maybe say the next 3-4 months, I really didn't have any issue. Like sometimes it would start itching, but I still had relaxer in my hair. I was doing relaxer and just kind of, trimming it down a little bit, with scissors or whatever. So then I went this last time, I said, I'm going to try again to go to the barbershop or go to Great Clips and get my hair cut. Well, that didn't work out so good. Nothing against Great Clips because I know there are some really, I just didn't know of any to go to myself. So, and the lady didn't do a really bad job, but it was messed up. And so, I don't blame her, but so I came home and then I tried to fix it. Well, of course, I'm not a barber, and so I just kind of said, you know what, I'm just going to cut it all off because I got so aggravated. I just said, you know what, I'm just going to cut it off. So my intention was to only just cut it down low. So as I started cutting, I just was like, you know what, I'm just going to cut it all off. You always said you wanted to know what you look like bald, so I did that. So it wasn't, I'm going to possibly maybe go bald. It was just like a spur of the moment, I'm about to do it now. So I cut it all off with the clippers. So when I cut it off with the clippers, I really liked it. And I thought, oh my God, I really love this. So I was good with that. So then I started watching all the bald videos, the baldies, and I saw them like, some of them were doing like the, the foil shaver. I tried that. And so then I was like, it was growing back so fast. I was like, dang it. So then I said, well, I want to see what it would look like if I do, I guess what they call a hard pass. And so that's where things went terribly wrong because I did not know what I was doing. I should have just stuck with the clippers. So I was very hesitant about doing the, I was very hesitant about using the razor. So I kept watching videos, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. Even my son said, Mom, do not put a razor on your hair, just use the clippers. But no, 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 no. I want to try it. I just want to see, I want that Mr. Clean bald head. Now, why I wanted to do that, I have no clue. So I started using the razor. Well, first of all, I tried before I did that, because I'm like, I want to get it all the way down to the skin. So I used the Magic Shave Cream, not the powder. I used the cream. So, of course, if you saw my video, that it did pretty good, but it still didn't, I felt like, get it all the way down to the skin. Me not knowing that what is it called? Keratitis pilaris had kind of started to develop on my scalp where it felt like sandpaper. So I'm thinking that is hair. No, it was the skin that was getting really inflamed and irritated, and they say it's like a Brillo pad, what they call chicken skin or something like that. So I'm like, oh my God, and I just recently found this out like the other day when I was doing some research. So the first thing I'm going to say is it's just not that easy to just go bald. I guess if I would have just stuck with using the clippers, that would have been okay. But no, I wanted to just go ahead. Come on, we're going to try to go out. We're going to take it down to the skin. We want to see what it looked like to be out. And it wasn't like it was even that big of a difference. So one of the things that I said is you really have to take care of your scalp once you go bald. You really have to take care of your scalp. At least I did, because when I would cut my hair, it would be like snowflakes. It would look like it was snowing. Once I got the hair and got down to, it was like it was snowing in there. So I guess I wasn't moisturizing my scalp good enough and doing the whole thing with the whole scalp care. I was exfoliating, but I guess I just wasn't, but I would do that like when I would cut my hair, and then maybe like the day after, then the next few days I just wouldn't do anything to it. So you really have to, I've learned that you really have to take care of your scalp once you cut your head bald. The second thing is, I had no idea that I was going to be freezing the way I did. And I guess I should have known, because there's nothing there to, there's nothing there. You have no shelter. You have nothing there. And so when I tell you, I was so cold. It's like I could not get warm. And I don't know if it was because my body temperature had to regulate to not having any hair up there. But man, when I say I was so cold, and then I was working by my front door, and I kept saying, well, maybe it's the air that's coming in the front door. No, I don't think it was the air coming in the front door. It was just the fact that because I had nothing on my hair, my body was like, girl, like, what have you done? So I was like freezing for days. And so something finally said, put a cap on your head. And so I put a cap on my head, and I started to warm up. And so for a while, I just, when in the morning time when I would get up, because this was like when the weather was kind of cool. The weather is warming up now, so it's not as bad. But then this was like in wintertime, like fall going into winter when I cut my hair. So that was another thing. I was always cold, and now that it's warmer, I had to think about, now you got to make sure that you're keeping sunscreen on your head, and not, just going out of the house. Now that my head is bald, I think I tend to do better skincare. I was already trying to take better care of my skin from all the damage over the years, not wearing sunscreen, just not taking care of myself and my skin. But I think with my hair being bald, I tend to take better care of my skin, doing my skincare routines and my scalp and all of that. So that was another thing. And then one of the things that I wish I knew, the stairs. When I say I go in the store, I've had my hair, like I said, cut low before, but not bald. When I go in the store, people be like, – and so for the last few years, I've worked from home. for the last 6 years I've worked from home, and my posture has gotten so bad from working from home and sitting all the time. So a lot of times I find myself like slumped over and not sitting up. Like when I'm walking, I'm not standing like straight with my shoulders back. Like I tend to like slump over a lot. So when I go in the store, it's like people are like looking like, so when I see them doing it, I'll be like, because I walk in the store and I'll be kind of like slumped over. When I see people like staring, I'll be like, and I'll be like head up, shoulders back. You're like, what are you staring at? You act like you've never seen anybody with a bald head before. So yeah, y'all. So I think having a bald head will definitely help me with my posture, because when I go out, I'll be like, or even when I'm home, sometimes I'm in the mirror. Like if I walk by the mirror, I'll be like, shoulders back, chin up. So that's another thing. Another thing that I wish I knew before going bald, like I said, is how fast it grows back. And the itch, oh my God. But I think that was only because, did that timer go off? I think that was only because with the itch and everything, it was because of the folliculitis. But I did end up having to go to the urgent care. I was here, and when I say my scalp had gotten so bad and inflamed from using those razors, because I really didn't know what I was doing with the razors. Like I was cutting this way, that way, this way, that way. I just didn't, I should have just stuck with the clippers. I had no idea what I was doing with that razor. And I started off with that Mach 3. And then I went from the Mach 3 to that Harry's with the 5 blades. That was the that was the biggest mistake, because that 5 blade, which I thought would have been easier, but no, that thing cut my scalp up so bad. I mean, I had nicks and cuts. It was bad. And after that, because I had messed up my scalp so bad, that's when I said, that's it. That's it. I'm not cutting my hair anymore, because I was in bed and it felt like razor blades was just in my head, and it was, oh my God, it was so bad. I couldn't even sleep that night. So the next day when I got up, I could not wait. I got up like about 7:30 that morning, and I went to urgent care, and the doctor looked at my scalp and she was like, yeah, she said, you irritated your scalp pretty bad. She was like, don't do anything else to it. She gave me some clindamycin ointment to go on my scalp, and like a little roller ball, and I just kind of like roll that on my head. I had to do it twice a day, and within about 2 days, my scalp was starting to heal. And after about, I had to do it for like 10 days or 11 days or something like that. After about day number 9, my scalp was pretty good. But I said, that's it. I'm gonna leave it alone and let my scalp completely heal. And I still was kind of asking myself, like, am I going to go back and do the bald again? Or am I going to just let it grow out? I knew I didn't really want to let it grow, because before all of the rigmarole started with the messing up the scalp, trying to be grown and do the razor, I really was enjoying the bald head. I really was. So after that, and it healed, after about a month, my hair had grown out so much, then I decided I was going to go to the barbershop. So I just happened to look up and I found my barber. And I started going to him and letting him cut my hair, but then I just wanted to go back bald again. And so I said, well, I'm gonna let him cut my head bald. I'm not gonna do it, because I was so scared. And so I messaged him, and he didn't get the message because I was having an issue booking online. And so I said, well, if he don't answer me I'm just gonna cut it off again. So this time is when I went and I got those wall clippers, and I ended up cutting it again. And I've been bald now again, I think like maybe 2 weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks now, and I haven't had any issues, no itching when it's growing back. Now, my friend Angela, she did tell me, she said, you don't cut your hair that much. She said, cut your hair once a week. And I'm thinking to myself, but it's gonna grow back so fast. And it does. My hair grows back really, really fast. But you know what? I listened to her, and this time I cut it bald. I got those clippers. Those clippers were really, really good. So I got the clippers, I cut it, and I just made sure that I exfoliated my scalp. I keep using my ketoconazole shampoo, and that's it. I don't do, like, I make sure I moisturize it. I do use this Amlactin Intensive Healing Lactic Acid. And it says it has 15% lactic acid in here. So I'm sorry, Amlactin Intensive Healing Dry, Flaky, Ashy Skin with 15% lactic acid. So I use that. Let me rewind. So when I get in the shower, after I cut my hair, I exfoliate my scalp with the St. Ives BHA Exfoliant Apricot for acne prone skin with 2% salicylic acid. So I'll use that, and I'll use it with a little squirt of my La Roche-Posay for like really dry skin, just a little squirt in there. And this is not all at the same time. And then I have my ketoconazole shampoo. I still use that, like if my scalp starts to get like really itchy or whatever the case may be. And then when I get out of the shower, I use the Amlactin. So, and then I'll use a little bit of the Palmer's Rocher Nourish Body Oil. I'll use that. And so far, I haven't had any issues. Now, I know that might not work for everybody else, but so far it's been what's working for me. I try to keep it pretty simple. I was using this before all of the things happened. I didn't have any issue with that. And I actually use that on my face as well, like lightly exfoliate when my skin is peeling from my skincare. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you all. I think that was everything that I was wanting to say about things that I wish I knew before going bald. And the last thing that I wish I knew, I should have known, is the importance of cleaning your clippers between cuts. I should have known that, but I guess I just was thinking, well, they're my clippers and that's okay. Your head is dirty, so you still need to clean them. So now when I get done with my clippers, I just get my little brush and I brush all of the hair off of there. And then I kind of put like a little soapy solution on there, just on the blade, not on the whole clipper, because I know I don't want to mess up the clipper. But then I just put that stuff on there, and then I get some of the 91 isopropyl alcohol, and I just clean them really, really good. And then before I use them, I clean them again. So, and then these are the clippers. I've been using the Wahl balding clippers, and they've been doing really, really good job. And then I'll use these as well, the trimmers. And it's just kind of like sometimes to get around here and like around my hairline. Sometimes whenever it, like if I miss a spot, like I have like a little indentation in the top of my head right here, I'll use it. If the clippers kind of go over it, then I'll use these. So yeah, so when I tell y'all I was kind of scared to go bald again. I was really scared. But I said, you know what? I really enjoyed it. And I just, yeah. Everybody always say, you got the perfect head for bald or whatever. Even when I used to, get my hair cut low. Everybody was like, well, you got a good, nicely shaped head and whatever. I haven't really seen anybody with a bald head that I think, oh God, their head is not shaped for that. But I mean, that's just me. I think all women with bald heads are beautiful. So yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and share some things about how I felt or I wish I knew before going bald. And if you have any things that you wish you knew before going bald, leave them down in the comment section. And I want to thank you all for watching. I want to say hello to all of my new subscribers. And I would love it if you all would like, comment, and subscribe. And you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.